Hi, this is James again, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit the Cash App. That Cash App is made for acrylic paint, brushes, and oh my goodness, masking tape. Okay? I was drinking some tea and it went down the wrong pipe. So I've been coughing and stuff over and over, but it's okay. Well, this one is called "He Was My Dog." He was my dog. Yeah, actually, this is about shuts in training. Shuts in training. Actually, before any of this stuff, I tried out a lot of stuff. I tried pest control, mechanic, auto mechanic, uh, a plumber, everything. I tried everything out. And this was one of them. Shuts in training. I was actually training German Shepherds. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I got interested in it because I worked for a security firm called K9 Security. That was in Chicago, Illinois. K9 Security. And I had to get familiar with a lot of the training styles, and all of the words that they use to train the dogs. Actually, then I got my own German Shepherd, and that's after I quit that job when I got to Memphis. When I got to Memphis, Tennessee, I got my own Shepherd. So I walked to a breeder. This is the thing. I went to a breeder and he had like I think 9 puppies out there. And I was looking in the kennel to see which one I wanted. So he allowed me to walk inside the kennel. Okay. So I said, okay. So I walked inside the kennel and I didn't approach the puppies. I stood back. And the first one that came to me was the one I got. Yep. And he was a black and tan one. German Shepherd, full blooded. And this guy had the papers for him and everything. So when he came to me, I picked him up, looked at him and stuff. I said, okay, I want him. It was a male. It was a male. So that was it. So I took him on home. And at first I didn't let nobody touch him because I was trying to train him. I was trying to get him familiar with me only. I didn't want him being from people coming and petting him and stuff and everything like that. I wanted him to get familiar with me. And that's why I named him from my name, my nickname. Actually, my rap name is Jack Attack. Jakatk. Okay? So I looked at him and I said, okay, your name is Jax. Okay? So that was his name, Jax. So, Jax was a cool little dog. And he was a little feisty little thing too. So he would, I would have this little animal. I forget what it was, but he would try to, he would grab onto it and everything like that. That was cool. But when he got older, like I say, before he got 6 months, I was supposed to have waited till he was 6 months to shuts in training. All right, shuts in training is used to heighten a dog's tracking, like, smell and stuff like that, that it heightens those senses. And then it also heightens its protection skills. Okay. Yep. That ability equates to a nearly perfectly trained dog. Okay. So that's what Schutzhund training is. So I had to get Jax familiar with the lingo. All right. Because he had to learn his words in German. So I had I got familiar with it when I worked for K9 Security, you know. So we're gonna go through them. We're gonna go through. Okay, if you want to tell your dog to sit, you say sitzen, sitzen, sitzen. You tell him sitzen. That means sit, and you got to say it kind of rough too. Sitzen, sitzen. You got to say it rough. All right, and then down, down. That's plankton. Plankton.
Man, you
I
mean
mean
plots.
plots. Plots.
Yeah.
Plots. Okay. Plots is down. All right. When you want them to go down, you say plots. And say it with a authoritative voice. Like something like you a drill sergeant. Yeah. Okay. When you want him to guard, like when you tell him to guard, he's supposed to walk around the perimeter, check everything out first, and then lay down and watch. Okay? That's pass off. Pass off. Pass off. That's to guard. That's what I used to tell my dog. Every time I let him in the yard, I say, pass off. And he would run around the perimeter and just sit down and watch. Okay. Now, this is where Jax had a problem with. This is let go or drop. Drop it. Like if he got something in his mouth, you want him to drop it and stuff. You say, oust, 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 oust. That means drop or let go. Okay? Like if they grabbing the sleeve and then you say, oust, they're supposed to let go immediately. All right? And then to speak, like, speak. You say, giblot, giblot. Say it like that. Say it with authority. Giblot, giblot. That's to speak. So you can use that. That works perfect when you got your dog. If somebody's coming closer and closer, it's like, hey man, what's up? Man, that dog ain't gonna do nothing. Giblot, boom. That's what that's for. Okay. And then when you want them to stay. Like say you if you let the leash go, stay. You say stay. You say blibe, blibe, blibe. That's stay. That's stay. Okay. And heel. You if you walk and you want them to heel, you say fuss, fuss. That means heel. Fuss. Remember, you got to say it with authority, all right? And no. Like when they doing something, or if they doing something, getting ready to do something, and you want to say no to them, you want them not to do it, okay? You say 9, like the number 9, but that's how it's spelled. All right. Then to go. Loft. You want them to go, to walk, to just go. And if you want them to stand, and stand still for a second or something like that. That's stay. That means stand or stay. All right. And the last one is to bite. They got to know when to bite, So you tell somebody, hey, don't come closer. Stay right there. The police are coming. Don't try to run. And then if they run anyway, you just say, fuss, fuss. That's bite, bite. You want them to do that. Yeah. Yeah. That's enough of them. It's like about 30 of them that you must know. I think it's 30 something of them, So anyway, Jax was doing good. And he started barking. When he got like a couple of, maybe a month old, he started barking. Start barking at people when they come around. So I knew he was doing good. And then when he got 6 months, well, 5 months, he got 5 months. He was a pretty big dog and pretty muscular too. So Jax, I felt he was ready that we can go to where they train him at. And I think it was maybe $100 or something. So we got out there. Jax did excellent with the tracking. They will have a guy to go into. It was a lot of these little, they look like outhouses. You know how outhouse, it's a skinny house. And it was a lot of those out there, spread it everywhere. And the guy took his shirt off and threw it, okay? So the shirt landed on the ground. And then Jax, I took him over, let him sniff it. And then I made him go find the guy. So we walked around and walked around. And then he sniffed. And then when he got to the one of the houses, the little houses where the guy was hiding in, he started barking. So that indicates that he found him. So he passed that. But then when the guy came out, he had a stick and was hitting Jax, hitting him. And needless to say, Jax ran behind me. He barked, but he ran behind me. So that's a no-no. So I had to bring him back. That's a no-no. Your dog is not supposed to run behind you. He's supposed to take charge and attack. All right. So, needless to say, I was disappointed. But I didn't know. I've been through that training before, but it was different out in Tennessee than it was in Chicago. So now I knew what to expect, that somebody's going to jump out and attack your dog, So the next time we did it, we went through and he tracked perfectly past that. But then we got back to it again, to those little houses again. But I think instinctively, Jax knew that somebody was going to jump out when he found him. All right. So, and I had been training him on the sleeve, having somebody come over and let him bite the sleeve. I had already been training on that. So this time he found the guy, he barked, and the guy came out. He had a stick behind his back, and when he raised it, Jax jumped up and grabbed his arm and was tearing him up. And then now I tried to tell him to let go, let go, oust. I was telling him to oust, and he would not oust. He would not do it. He wanted to kill the guy. So I finally had to get his choke chain and pull him off him. And I boom, out. And he let go. But he still was trying to get to the guy. So they gave him a good score for attacking the guy, but he wouldn't stop. So I knew I had to train him on that, to let go when told to let go. So I got my brother-in-law to come over, and God rest his soul, but I had him to come over and, just to agitate him. And then I kept telling him, oust, oust. He wouldn't stop at first, but then he started gradually stopping. When I told him to oust, he would stop. So after that, we went back through it again. This time, the guy jumped out. Jax attacked him. All right? And he was shaking. And I told him, oust, oust, oust. And on the third time I told him oust, he let go. So they let him pass. I said, cool. That's it. Then it's the sleeve testing. A guy comes out, he have a stick like he walking up, agitating the dog, and then he said, and then Jax jumped up and grabbed him. They supposed to do it on their own without command. If somebody's got their hand up like this, they supposed to jump up and grab him. So I didn't have to tell him to fuss. I didn't have to tell him to bite. He did it on his own. So he jumped on the guy, and the guy was shaking him around and hitting him with the stick. Bam, bam, bam. Jax didn't let go. That's what he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to let go until you tell him to let go. He didn't let go. Finally, the guy was trying to pull him, throw him around, but Jax was kind of heavy then. He was trying to throw him around, and he tripped and fell. And Jax was biting him all in the body and stuff. So I said, oust, oust, oust. He would not listen to me. This guy was a maniac. So, but anyway, he passed all the class, all right? So I got him home. I wanted him for personal protection, okay? Personal protection and property protection, all right? So one day we were in the house. Well, I had a crazy ex, okay, who tried to break in my back door. And Jax kept her out. He had got big now. So he kept her out. And I was proud of him. I pat him. I said, good boy, good boy. So then, later on, I had company coming over. And keep in mind, Jax haven't been exposed to other human beings. Other human beings that he saw, he was attacking on them. All right? I wasn't thinking of that. I wasn't thinking of if I had company come over or something like that. Or if I had a get together at the house. I wasn't thinking of that. So, one day I had company coming over. And Jax was a mean guy. He was mean. But I told him, I said, look, out. When I tell him out, that means go to the storage room, all right? Because I had a storage room in the back that he would go in, and then I would lock him in there, all right? And I told him out, and he didn't move. He didn't move. Usually he jump up and go when I tell him to go, but he wouldn't move. So I stood up, and I said, out. And then he started walking back to the back. But he was walking real slow. And that kind of annoyed me, you know. So I made him come back. Get back in here. He came in there. I made him sit down. I made him stand up. I made him heel. I did all of that. And then I said, out. And I pointed where I want, the direction I want him to go. And then he walked. He sauntered out of there. And I said, get back in here. And he came back in there again. I took him through his commands again, made him get down, plots, put up, and then stood him back up. And I said, out of here now. This time he walked, and then he peed. He lifted his leg up and peed right in the hall. So that was it. Then I don't know what was wrong with him, but I guess he was just approaching 2 years. When German Shepherds get 2 years, then they are kind of dominant then. So I made him come back. And when I told him to come back, he didn't come to me. He walked slow. So I always kept weapons on me, you know, just in case. I don't know, So I said, didn't I tell you to get? When I stomped at him, and when I stomped at him, he growled at me. And it wasn't a nice growl either. It was a mean growl. So I said, oh. So I was thinking, I knew I couldn't let that go. I couldn't let that go. We were going to have to fight, okay? So I got the broom and I said, when I tell you to get back there, I mean get back there. Bam! I bust him over his head with the broom. Then phase him. So he started coming towards me. I warded him off a little bit. Then I pulled that freeze pea out, that mace. And it's not nothing nice. So he was coming at me and I sprayed him. Right in the eyes and in the nose. And he flopped around for a minute and then he passed out. So after that, I drug him into the bathroom, turned some cold water on him, the shower, and then he woke back up. And his eyes were red, boy. And he said, and I said, come here. He came to me. I told him, sitzen. Sitzen. That means sit. He sat down. I said, plots. He went down all the way down to the ground. And then I told him to stand. Okay. He stand up. I told him, blind. He stood up. And he had to stay. And then I put his leash on him. I told him, fuss. He went around my body and healed and got into heel position. After that, I took the chain off of him. I said, go in that, get in there. And he ran out of there. He ran in there. So I got his respect. Even though I had to mace my dog, I got his respect. All right. So after that, he was a good dog. He was a good dog after that. Although he still didn't get along with people too much. But after that, I was getting ready to go to work. So I left the storage room door open. I let him run freely, And I left the storage room door open. So I was gone. And then when I got off, immediately I called his name before I come in the door. Because I want him to know it's me. Because, he will attack anybody else. So I came in the door. I said, Jax. No dog. So I said it again, walking down the hall. Looked in the kitchen. Didn't see him. So I figured he was in a storage room. But I don't know why he didn't respond to me. So I was saying something. I was like, man, you hear me calling you. And I walked down the stairs. See, it was stairs going down. And then you down into like a storage area. It was made out of concrete and stuff like that. So I was looking around. No jacks. So I was thinking, could he have got out the door? So I looked outside the door, and I know he didn't come out behind me because he's too big, and he would never run away. All right. So I started getting worried, And then I looked under the stairs, and there he was. His choke chain, there was a nail under there. A nail. This was a freak accident. It was a nail up under there. That little loop on those choke chains that you can pull like this, it got hung on there. And apparently he panicked. And he offed himself. He made himself unalive. Okay? So, it shocked me. So I'm like, I took the chain and got it unraveled on there. Then I pulled him out. I was thinking I could save him. But no. He had to do that shortly after I left. Because he was playing, it was one of, these footballs, these dog footballs. Apparently he was playing with that and went up under the porch, up under the stairs, and got hung under there. So it was a freak accident. And I couldn't explain it, but I know I couldn't get him from under there. So I had to take a crowbar and take the whole stairs loose. Yeah. Take the stairs loose, and then he was there. So I had to pick him up and put him into the kitchen. So it was terrible. All of that training and work that I did. Hold up. All of that work and training that he been through. No more. So after he passed, I took him out and I called dead animal removal. And they came. Hold up, I cannot get this thing started. Yeah, I called dead animal removal. And they came and picked up the body. Yeah, they came, picked the body up, and then that was it. So I sat down and pondered on it for a while. Then I ended up getting another dog. This one, I named him Pac. I named him Pac, okay? And when I got him, he didn't come from a breeder. The person I got him from was just somebody who had a dog that had puppies. But he was full-blooded German Shepherd. And I got him, and he was black and tan too. He was another black and tan. So after that, he grew up, but he didn't grow all the way up. As soon as he got like maybe maybe when he got like maybe 4 weeks old, he ended up catching parvo. And y'all know what parvo is. Parvo is a disease that dogs get, but it's terrible when they're young. They get diarrhea. They get diarrhea and everything, and bloody diarrhea. So that's it. So he got that, and I wasn't going to let this kill him. So I took him to the hospital and dealt with it. And I spent a lot of money too. But he was healed. He was healed from it. And that was the first dog that I had that survived parvo. Especially because they get it, they used to get it, dogs used to catch it when they're young. They're real young. And that's it. They used to catch it young. And they would die of dehydration. It usually would happen at night. I would discover it at night. And then I have to wait until in the morning, but they die before that. So make sure you get your dogs vaccinated against parvo. Because see, in this case, the guy told me that he got them their first shots, but he didn't, apparently. But anyway, he survived the parvo. They started an IV, they put a IV, he had a big hump in his back. It was so much fluid they pumped right there, and they just had to massage his back until his body absorbed all that fluid. Then he was okay. He was okay. After that, he never could qualify. He was too friendly. See, he had got so used to me pampering him when he was sick. So that was it. That was it. So he got older. He still kept, just he was happy. He wanted to be rubbed. He wanted people to pet him and stuff like that. So sooner or later, I got rid of him. I sold him to a police officer, a lady. Okay. She had a dog before, but it had passed away. And I asked her, did she want this one? She said yes. So I gave it to her. I told her to take him. So after that, I didn't have no dogs no more. And then I got my boy. I got him. And this one was the ultimate, the best German Shepherd I've ever owned. Okay? Ever. The best dog I ever owned. And his name was Chemo. Chemo. Well, I got the name Chemo from my name. Because a lot of my friends that's in Hawaii, and all my buddies, they call me Chemo. And Chemo means James in Hawaiian language. Okay, so I named him Chemo. Another dog that I named after. And that dog was excellent Schutzhund trained to the T. Personal protection to the T. Property protection to the T. He was everything. All right. But he got cancer later on in life. And he passed away. And that really crushed me. It crushed me when he passed away. Man, I was so sad. I was so sad. But before he died, this dog was still trying to protect me. He was still trying to protect me. He couldn't even walk, but he still was trying to protect me. Somebody come up, he was trying to bark and stuff like that. So that night, I went out there and he was going in and out of comas. He was going into a coma. Well, actually, I took him to put him down. All right. When I got to the hospital to put him down, when they were about to stick him, he looked at me in such a way, like, it was like, why are you betraying me? I've been through everything with you. Why are you putting me down? And I just was thinking, it was going over in my head. And I told him, I said, stop, don't. He said, well, he's going to die. He only got a couple of days. He's going to die. I said, no, he wants to go home. So I took him back home. And that dog lasts a whole year. Yep. Lasts a whole year. Actually, he was just fine. He was running around the yard and everything. But every now and then he would have a seizure. So then one day I went out there and I called his name and he didn't hear me. He had got deaf. It was temporary though. But he got deaf. Then he got blind. Then his sight came back. So it was just a lot of craziness, happening to him. Then he lost his motor skills. And his tongue wouldn't drink water. So I had to take a turkey baster, one of them turkey basters, and give him water. And then I had to puree his food. But I had to do it. That was my buddy, So I pureed his food and put it in a turkey baster and squirted it down there, So I would go out with him every day and try to make him walk. I put a sheet up under him and lift him up and then walk, try to make him walk and stuff like that. So it was a long, hard time, it was a sad time, After that, I was looking down at him and I kneeled down and I was rubbing his head. I said, look, Chemo, look, you've been a good dog. You've done well. Actually, you're the best dog I ever had. Now, with that, I say you can go ahead and go home. I told him just like that. And my son was standing next to me when I said it. So I told him, you can go ahead and go home. Go ahead and go home, man. And he looked up at me and he closed his eyes. I thought he was asleep, but he was gone. He was gone. After that, I vowed never to get attached to a dog like that again, because it really hurt me. It was like a person had died. Seriously. So I never got attached to a dog again like I did to him. Yes. Okay. Well, that's it.
Man, you getting all mushy over a dog or something.
Man. Look, do you have a dog?
No, but I had a pit bull. That's what I like, pits, man. Them pits, man.
That's the thing. It's the only thing he worried about is these pit bulls and stuff. Get out of here, man. That's
all right. My bad.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos to everyone so that they can get this experience too, okay? And subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Subscribe to my videos. All right? All right. Peace. Adios. Salamat. Chair dance.